That down, guys. Let's get things started with this. There have been some horrible, horrible tragedies that happen in like pop culture. You know, whether it's cherry Coke, awful, terrible thing. People putting ketchup on eggs, awful.
Oh, here we go.
Terrible thing.
I stopped listening.
And then,
It's delicious.
and then there was the Acolyte,
Okay.
a show,
Okay.
a show that I was so excited for like a couple of years. The concept of it was so good. I loved the casting. And then, well, then we got what we got, which was not so good. I ultimately had to kind of tap out of it before the ending of it. It was just too brutally difficult to watch. It was just so poorly done. Anyway, surprisingly though, and this is the beautiful thing about art. Art hits us all in different ways. And there were fans of the show. There were people who legitimately liked it. And a lot of those people began a big online campaign to save the Acolyte and bring back an Acolyte season 2. And well, it's not just them, because even one of the stars of the show, Manny Jacinto, who was also in that wonderful show, The Good Place, and is Filipino, so that makes him popular around my house. Even he is now kind of suggesting that the Acolyte could return, and they may have a broader Darth Plagueis kind of storyline in mind. This is what he said. He said there was definitely going to be more of Darth Plagueis in the second, if not the third seasons of the show. But I just can't say because, you know, we could come back. Jacinto, whose Sith Lord character pretended to be a smuggler named Kamir for most of the series, said during an appearance at a fan expo in San Francisco, I don't want to spoil anything or give anybody any false hope, but I would just say that there was a lot more to explore. As a matter of fact, talking about the connection between his character and Darth Plagueis, he said, they're not connected. They're definitely not. Oh man, how do I answer that? What time is it? There are definitely a lot of different theories like who he is, because we never actually know his true identity. Is Kamir's name actually Kamir? We definitely want to explore it. All right. So, just to be clear, this is not any kind of an official confirmation that the Acolyte is coming back. This is just one of the actors saying, who apparently believes there is a chance that the show does come back. He's saying, look, I don't even want to tell you where the story was going to go because we may come back. And Darth Plagueis is a part of that story. And Kamir isn't just a guy who just also happened to be a Sith. We don't actually know his real identity. Does he end up being somebody else in Star Wars canon or lore? And the bigger question is, will we find out? Okay. How would I feel if tomorrow they were to announce that they were going to do an Acolyte season 2? I would be fine with it. And I'll tell you why. Rush Hour has taught me that just because the first thing is terrible doesn't mean the second thing can't be good.
You don't like the first Rush Hour?
I hate the first Rush Hour.
What?
You have some real weird takes today,
I
man.
hate the first Rush
Cherry Cola, Rush Hour, come on.
I hated the first Rush Hour.
Yeah.
But the second Rush Hour,
Is really good.
I thought was
It's
really
wonderful.
good. The first Star Trek movie, garbage. The second
Somewhere
Star
Rob's
Trek
screaming.
movie, Wrath of Khan,
Very good.
brilliant. Right? So don't be confused. I really hated the Acolyte.
Grease, awful. Grease,
Grease
2.
Chef's kiss.
Come on.
Grease
So
2.
good.
But I'm just saying that the premise was so good and the conceit of the story was so promising that if they did decide to take a second swing at the bat, I'd be down for giving it a shot, and hopefully they make it better. They Wrath of Khan it.
I mean, it would be under a new regime. It'd be under a
Yeah.
new policy, and they would have a showrunner.
They'd have
and
a showrunner.
it'd be a different style of creating the format.
Yeah. So now look, do I actually think they're going to do a second season? No, I don't. Do I believe there are people talking about maybe doing a second? I believe those conversations are probably happening in the halls of Lucasfilm and Disney. Yeah, I would believe those conversations are happening. I just don't believe it's actually going to happen. I'm just saying that if they did it, would I greenlight it as an executive? No. As just a viewer, if they were to take a swing at it, would I give it a shot? Yes, just to see, because the basic idea is so good that hopefully they'd be able to execute better the second time around, but I wouldn't have a lot of hope. Guys, we want to take a second to thank a sponsor of today's video, Life 360 Tile Trackers. With the holidays right around the corner, it's all about family, fun, and of course, keeping track of everything while traveling or hosting. For me, that's where Life 360's Tile Trackers are an absolute lifesaver. These little things help keep the holiday stress in check. Whether I'm tracking my keys, wallet, or even our luggage when we travel, Tile Trackers make it easy to keep tabs on everything important. Just open the Tile app to ring it when it's nearby, or track down its location on the map if it's a bit farther. I had mentioned this one time I went to a poker tournament in Vegas, and I keep everything, my wallet, my tablet, and stuff like that, in this satchel backpack of mine, and I thought I lost it. I went crazy for hours until I finally realized I had left it in the car. If I had had Tile Tracker, it would have made my life a lot simpler. And here's one of the things I love about Tile. Tile syncs with Life 360, so I can see the location of my family members and all of our tiled items in one spot. So make your holidays a little less stressful and family-proof your season with Life 360's Tile Trackers. Visit tile.com and use the code Campea to get 15% off. That's tile.com. Use the code Campea. Anyway, Chris, you hear Manny's comments here?
Yeah.
What do you think about what he said? Do you think there could be a legitimate chance for Acolyte to return? Would you be okay with the Acolyte return? I don't know. What would you think about that?
If anyone's going to say this is going to get a season 2, it's going to be Manny Jacinto, because he is the reason why we would get a season 2.
Yeah, that's true.
Because if you held on for the finale of that show, it was, oh, now things are starting to get interesting. For me, at least, I really don't care about this twin thing. We all knew they were one person at the beginning. It wasn't that big of a reveal to me. It was like, yeah, obviously there's some midichlorian nonsense happening here. I don't know. But all the stuff with him was really, really fascinating. And we started to delve into, why were these girls created? What is their purpose? What is going to happen? Blah, 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 blah. We got so interesting at that 8-episode mark, basically. And also,
Sith Bay.
yeah, he's Sith Bay. Stop making the Sith so cute, and I won't want to be evil. Okay?
He's like, just kiss me, you fool.
Exactly. Don't make all the Sith like thirst traps, and then maybe we'll root for the Jedi. I don't know. But I don't see this getting a season 2 just because of how it was just critically lambasted. People did not like this. They were not happy with it. There's just things that I think that maybe Star Wars as a whole for their television series and moving forward or forever back on the big screen can maybe do some cafeteria Catholicism, if you will. Let's pick and choose what things we like. Let's pick and choose what we want to keep. And that could be some of the things that we started to talk about in here. Because I don't think you're going to have that big reveal of, Darth Plagueis, there, and not do anything with that ever again, right? Why was he there? What is happening? What is the part of this little, peer out of a cave moment? And I'm not as familiar with this character because I know we had, the reference in the prequels, but I never read the novels. So I don't know much about this guy aside from his, relationship to Palpatine and, the Sith the Wise, or just the Wise is what they call him. So I would have loved to get more of this. But I don't feel like we're going to get more of this in the Acolyte. I think we'll get more of those kinds of things in some other kind of Star Wars packaging.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, look, and there's a possibility that maybe they don't do an Acolyte season 2, but they do bring back Manny Jacinto as the character and maybe have him play a role in another show.
He was amazing.
Right.
I thought he was quite good. Listen, other than the woman, and I can't remember her name, who played the main Jedi back at the temple, the boss Jedi.
Yeah.
I thought all the yeah, something like that. She wasn't good. And she was in Russian Dolls. And she was anyway, she's a good actress, but I didn't like her performance in that at all. But I liked all the other performances. I thought all the other performances were perfectly good and perfectly fine. It's just that
Vanessa Rowe.
the story was so bad and so many major logic holes.
Yeah.
And so wait a minute, why would he do that if he'd already did this?
Yeah.
Just so much of that it became eye gougingly annoying. And I couldn't hang in there with it. Anyway, guys, question is for you. What do you think about Manny's comments here? Saying, listen, I can't tell you where we were going to go because we may come back. What? Really? There are a lot of people out there who'd be very happy. But listen, just because I hated it doesn't mean you need to hate it. I mean, there's a bunch of people out there who really enjoyed the show. And if it comes back, I'd be super happy for you. But whatever you guys think, jump down to the comment section below and let us know your thoughts. Hey guys, thanks so much for watching this video. Make sure you like the video, leave a comment, and subscribe to our channel. And don't forget, we have a daily podcast called the John Campea Show podcast, available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or your favorite podcasting app of choice. Go and subscribe to it today so it'll be there when you need it.